a second to start. Okay. Good.
Hi everybody, my name is Dana Utman. Before I start, I want to remind everybody that we do this every day at 3 o'clock, live Facebook. We're also going to do a live campfire talk tonight at 7, which is every Saturday for the rest of the through August. And I also want to thank the Yurok tribe and their ancestors for this beautiful place that we're standing in, Patrick's Point. My name is Dana Utman, and I'm a seasonal interpreter working at both Prairie Creek and Patrick's Point State Parks. I'm here today with this beautiful weather, and I hope you're enjoying your day as well. Let me see, everybody raise a hand who's having a great day. Actually, no, I can't see you. Anyway, we're here at this beautiful place. Patrick's Point is about 25-minute drive, a half an hour drive from the city of Erika. It's not a long drive. But it's a beautiful place. If you haven't been here before, there's a lot to see. You can go to Palmer's Point and enjoy the tide pools. You can walk along the rim trail and walk up Wedding Rock to be able to get great views of the ocean. And you could also go down to Agate Beach and look for agates, which are a lot of people do and find. So it's a beautiful place to come. If you haven't been here before, please come and check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it. So today we're here, and I'm going to talk about Seastacks. If you come up here and you check out the ocean and walk along the rim trail or some of the other places I've just mentioned, look out in the water and you'll see these big rock outcrops. So what is a sea stack? A sea stack is something that used to be a part of the mainland, but through erosion, through wind and water, creating a hydraulic erosion, these sea stacks eroded. They used to be, when they were part of the mainland, what happened, there'd be a bridge that would get eroded, and then through more erosion, those bridges that connect the sea stack, used to connect the sea stack to the mainland, would erode. Maybe holes would go through those bridges, and finally they would collapse due to gravity. So the sea stacks you can find out along the water. Some people call this place the Yosemite of the ocean because of those sea stacks. Anyway, there's also a sea stack called Sumek, which is the Yurok village that you'll see here. So sea stacks are pretty cool. They provide a place for birds to nest and mammals to be able to sunbathe on, like sea lions, and rest. If a sea stack gets too eroded, which it will probably over thousands or millions of years, it'll become a sea stump. And eventually those sea stumps will be covered by the ocean, and you won't be able to see them anymore. That takes a really long time. I don't think any of us are going to be around to see that happen. But for those of you who have never, don't know what I'm talking about in the way of sea stacks, this is a photograph of some sea stacks near Elkhead, which is also a part of the state park system. Some of you have probably seen it off in the distance, but at the park here at Patrick's Point, over at Wedding Rock, you can see some great sea stacks as you walk along the trails there. So sea stacks are pretty important. The other interesting thing is during the Pleistocene era, the ocean level was much higher. So this was all underwater at that time. But the water receded, and so what you end up with is Patrick's Point, but also a lot of sea stacks on the land. We're standing on one right now, but there's quite a few that you can actually enjoy and climb up and check out more of the area with. So if you come to Patrick's Point, like I said, you're going to be able to walk along the rim and look out the ocean. You're going to see these beautiful sea stacks that have taken, like I said, thousands or millions of years to erode. They've also have usually quite a bit of life on them, and so come check them out. Now, the one that we're standing on right now is Ceremonial Rock, and you can take a trail to Ceremonial Rock and walk up it, and when you do, you'll be able to come to this big rock and stand on the same one that Steven Spielberg stood on to film Jurassic Park Lost World. And when he did, he was able to get this great view out on the ocean. Now, before I finish though, I do have a little quiz for you guys. One of the ways that Seastacks erode is, it depends on the kind of rock that they contain. So I have in my hand a piece of granite and a piece of shale. And if you could tell me which of these you think would last longer and not erode if it was out on the ocean and part of a sea stack.
We also have a couple questions too. No responses quite yet on that. It's going to take a minute. Maybe we'll take the questions while we wait for responses for that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Can you say it because they can't hear me? We're going to take some questions while we wait for responses.
Oh yeah, sure. We're going to take some questions while we wait for responses.
So we have a question from Kim Cabrera. Says, is Trinidad Head a sea stack that just hasn't completely eroded yet?
Yeah, I would say so, and Wedding Rock is like that as well.
You might want to repeat the question because again they can't hear me.
So the question is Trinidad Head a sea stack that hasn't eroded yet? As long as it's connected to the mainland, it's not really a sea stack. Wedding Rock is the same way. It's not connected to the it is connected to the mainland, but eventually it will become a sea stack.
Cool. And then we had somebody ask if it's hot there, hot up here today.
It's not hot. It's comfortably warm. The question was, how hot is it? It's comfortably warm.
Wonderful. Now we have a couple of responses coming in. We've got 3 for granite. People are mostly thinking granite.
And we're not taking that for granted.
Let them know that we got most of the responses in that it's granite.
So
oh, Sandra can hear me. Oh, great.
They can't hear you?
Yeah, they can hear me.
Okay. So most of the responses we got are granite. You guys are correct. And the reason is because these are formed in lava or magma, and part of granite is also quartz. Of course, shale is a sedimentary rock, which is part clay and another, I forget the other one, but it doesn't last very long. It would break down easily. So you guys got the right response. So you get 100%, pass the test. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining me here today. Unless there's any more questions.
We have one more question. Is Grandmother Rock a sea stack?
Grandmother?
Yeah, Grandmother Rock. It's off the coast of Trinidad.
You know, I'm not sure what that rock is.
I believe it is a sea stack.
Okay.
It's a big pillar of rock sitting off the coast.
Niall says it is.
I think.
So I'm gonna assume that he knows what he's talking about.
I don't always.
All right.
Anyway, that's it.
Any more questions?
That's it.
All right, you guys, don't forget, every day at 3 o'clock and a campfire talk tonight at 7 o'clock. Good to see you. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining, guys.